So, Adolf Stalin's video on degenerative communism gave me the motivation to make a video about how there are two main flaws in classic Marxist Soviet communism that a lot of people don't want to admit, myself included. I try not to say it out loud more than I have to because it's not convenient. It's not convenient to always appearing right, but it is what it is. It's a fact. And these two facts are: number one, nationalism is contrary to imperialism. When a third world country is nationalist, it reduces imperialism, like Judaism, like North Korea, things like that. And when a first world country is nationalist, it's also a deterrent to imperialism because the first world country is more in tune with its own needs and its own bullshit drama as opposed to the global capitalist apparatus. This is not to say that a first world nationalist country can't be imperialist at all. That's far from the truth. Of course, it's going to be imperialist. Of course, it's in the interest of any capital to be imperialist. I'm just saying it's a deterrent. It is a lesser imperialism. So, in either instance, nationalism is the beneficiary to revolution in the sense that it's the lesser evil. And that's not something you often want to hear. Because when you think of nationalism, you think of racism, and that's not the case. But that's something they also don't want to hear. Oh well, shit's bad as it is, so you may as well. Number two, the main problem, even more so than the anti-nationalism, the main problem with the Soviet Union and with classic Marxism is that it put so much emphasis on production and on the power of labor that it became, I don't want to use the term state capitalism, but it did glorify production. It glorified the idea that production was a means unto itself, and that, if we just gave power to the working class, then we could continue infinite production all the same way the capitalists think they can. Because while capitalists want infinite production for profit, for power, for monumental glory, the old communists, the Stalins, the Lenins, the things like that, they wanted worker control of the means of production for production and to glorify humanity on a collective level. And in the end, it was the same shit because you're working toward this dream, this greater good that's not there. There is no greater good. You see how people are. People are shit. The women are shit. They let moderators happen. They're not good people. So why would you work toward that, whether or not it's under the guise of a working class revolution or a bourgeois dictatorship? And that's not something people want to think about. They want to see the best in humanity, so they cling to this idea of, if we organize and we wake people up, shit's going to get better. And it's not to say it couldn't get better. I'm sure it could. There's nowhere to go but up. But the fact of the matter is that, is it really that good in and of itself if the people rise up and have worker-controlled production, and then we're doing the same shit we were doing before? The problem with classic communism, I'll put it this way, is that they believe that civilization, that human civilization, was good. And it isn't. Or at least you can argue that it isn't. So until you're willing to suggest that humanity itself was a mistake, then you're going to have all the same problems. And, so people could disagree with me. You're entitled to that. And on top of it, I'm not claiming to be a genius here. I mean, I am a genius, but I'm not claiming to have all the answers. If I had all the answers, I would have solved it all for you by now. I would have been your Jesus Christ, and none of us would have to deal with any of this bullshit if I had my way. But that's what I get from